know what I mean? It was just like us against them. It was like, you know, the punk rockers against the straighties.
And there would be like almost fights here, it'd be antagonizing here, it'd be spitting on people here, it'd be spitting on people here, it'd be spitting on people here. They definitely liked to push people's buttons back then.
He had that crazy attitude and just the whole like, hey, I don't even care if I'm gonna get hurt.
His style is unique, man. It's just fucking the master disaster.
And I was skating with STABB. Well, I wasn't skating with them. STABB and Dwayne were skating the half pipe, and I just kind of creeped over there like, oh, those guys are here, you know? And Dwayne sees me coming, he can tell I'm, you know, starstruck, and he just spits right at me. He's like, this is punk rock, kid. And I was like, oh, just completely crushed.
I think Dwayne helped the fucking marriage of punk rock and skateboarding.
Top of the day, the hockey day. I'm about 5 miles from Hawk Shack, the Hawk Shop. Tonya Harding Hawk. On my YouTube channel, I used to have a DP Disaster, batshit crazy DP Disaster, the guy that got on the cover of a magazine, the cover of the newspaper, the OC Weekly. I was on the cover like 10 or 15 years before as a rock star. 2001, 9/11 happened right after my cover, but no one's alive with any brains anymore that can put anything together that was past probably, who was that last Rodney King, I Can't Breathe, right before they made us all not breathe, and then they put masks on us. It was a Rodney Dangerfield, Rodney, something, I think the cop, the phony cop, it was like a Trump assassination. If you watch B movies from my time, you'd be like, that's a B movie next. Now I can't escape for this. But we all watch whatever they feed us now. It's just the way it is. And everyone walks by. In the grassy knoll. Fireman. What happened to that original singer of the Dropkick Murphys? Mike. He became a fireman for 5 years, right after their first record. Wow. And they were doing pretty good. And then even the guy from the Swinging Utters, which the band, the Dropkick Murphys, were inspired by because of their merch sales and possibilities of the name of the band. And if you can just put some good music, Irish style music, grab some words from some old Irish books. Mike Ness uses the AA book for his first 10 records. I don't know what he uses now. He's got 2 bags in there. And plenty of IA. Greg Kent, I learned that when he was writing lyrics, and I saw how he writes. He just punch in a word, you know, they need, you know, triplicates on the next sentence to go along with this, and they can write a whole song. AI writes all their songs. They're all Ransack, Sid, AI. What's AI in numbers? 19. What's 19? A, AR, AI, SA, SI. You know, it's Army. They run. That's all the Army that teaches you that. MK Ultra. You would go by Army codes. That's all it is. But they want y'all to use Google instead of your brain. And that's how we end up insane. How about the Tony Hawk? I asked one time, did these guys do anything other than fucking ride their ramps at their houses back and forth, and no rock and roll, no nothing? They just practice tricks in a certain, like, you know. No, actually Tony Hawk, he's on a computer all the time. And that blew my mind. I went, done, case closed, geek, total geek. And when he was crying about me spitting on him, that was a good move. Tonya killed my board cells, which were already fucked because I hated my board on Beer City and Think because they had no shape. It had a little bit of shape on Think, but when you get a model, you go to the boardroom and then you have to sit there and talk about what cells, what are we going to do with you, Dwayne? What kind of board are we going to put out? We can't do that. In any shape I bring them, it's too shapy. This is all new. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? I grew up around you fuckers. Why'd y'all? Those shapes don't work anymore. What we got to do and what sells? We gotta go thinner, and we gotta go more shapeless. And so I am working so many shit jobs, you know, dishwasher jobs. I mean, you name it, shit jobs to get by. Making sandwiches, car washes, you name it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try this because I want to try to sell some shapes. Let me see how far I can get away with. What can I get away with? What's the max this? What's the max? You know, and then by Beer City, and they're not even in California, but nobody else is knocking on my door, but they'll give me $1,000 a month. Okay, I want on that because Think was only giving me $500 a month. So 2 and 2 make 4, right? So I go to Beer City. Why not? Let's put them on the map. I even get a tattoo, Beer City, on the stomach. And whatever. And then I finally getting some attention. I didn't like the boards. They were like a giant popsicle stick. And so I saw someone sent me a picture from, looked like maybe in Milwaukee or whatever when I had to fly back there to do some promo. And I'm looking at that board just going, oh my God, I don't miss those days. And then when I got on Black Label, with John, I got my shapes back. And Chicken, the same thing, because you know these were amateur. Chicken's not even in California. He's from Ohio. He's not. I mean, he would be from Apple. They don't know shit. Okay, they have to learn it once they get out here and all that stuff. Then they're in with the industry, so they can be whoever they want. But that's okay. You know, they've proven that it only takes a couple of years to become a pro skater, and they'll give you a name. What about Rob Roskop, Robot Roskop? You know. Robot, Twilight Zones, they call robots, robots, and then Robo is Robo without the T-bone. What a fun way to live, right? That's secret society. But he complained about me spitting on him, and then spitting on the board. So anyway, he just came out with a book at that time and killed my cells with either Think or with Beer City. They were both, because that guy's name got so huge overnight, from Captain Kangaroo and so on, and all the kiddies that never grew out of him. They just grew up with him. Until they got the following thing. If you're following this shit on Instagram for 20 years now, if you've been following you're his best friend, especially if he's ever answered you or done a fucking kickflip. It's over at Irvine and fucking Temple. Go look me there. What kind of a praying mantis is that? Then they go wait for the person to come pick up their board. Do they kill them? What do they do? Anyway, I don't know. But why would you complain about me and almost cry? Because it hurt crushed him. It crushed him. Him and his dad used to come around Lakewood, early fucking days. And there's 2 keyholes right next to each other that went end to end. A bigger, bad, kinkier one, and a good one that we all rode. Pat Brown, Todd Barnes from TSOL, all these guys skated. Even Brent Lyles who ended up in Social Distortion, all skaters. We punks, and we skated this one. Barkley, everybody. Olson, Salva, ALWA, anyone that came to Lakewood Skate Park, we had a huge session in this one. So Frank Hawk's driving the kids around, Hawk and STABB Hawk, and in the really old shitty van, and they pull up again. Nobody likes it because the dad walks around the park as if we're all still from the backyard. It's just like weird having your dad at the fucking park, number one, because it's like, this is one thing that it's not a sport and it's not parent friendly. So keep your parents out of this. Was the original fucking plan, backyard, USA, and these guys, so they got to ride the good pool, and then we all start showing up and someone kicks them out. Not me, it could be, but anyone, even Mini Shred would go get the fuck out of here because he's lucky at his age because he started in the backyard, so we're very early. So there's a totem pole, and then go to that pool. They had no problem going to the bad pool. So that's how they got treated at that park. Even though he's from Oasis, they used to go up to Lakewood like 3 times a week. Here comes that van pulling up. I used to go ride my board inside the park when he first started coming around Frank Hawk. He'd stand outside the fence and just you, and I'd just go by and go, and I'd fuck with them, and I'd rack the fence. I'd get the fence going by. You go, get a job, old man. You know, I didn't know he was Army, NSA, and they're gonna bring the NSA to the National Skateboard Association. How would he get away with that? Well, they're all in on it. How was D. David Morin a fucking actor? Actors Guild, actor. He's still acting today. They're all actors. They want to be actors. The actors graduate from sitcoms to politics. The actors idol the rock stars. The rock stars idol the actors, just like on the political stage. Why did Michael Obama want to be Beyonce? They all idol each other. They lick their own poop, and it's a whole different world. But if you're not part of it, that's what's going on. And Tony Hawk is a part of that whole reptilian bunch of bullshit. Okay, his feet are too big for that small board, and they're not that big for a guy who's 6'4". You're only size 10. My ex was size 10. It's a woman. Woman's bigger. Anyway, so he brought his crap, his political crap, right into the game. Right when I was starting my band, From the Sharks to Political Crap. I might have already I did probably start it already. It was 79. I'm talking about 78, 78-ish, 79 maybe. We stopped going to Lakewood by 79. There was way too many parks. It's about a 6-month strong time at Lakewood. Anyway, DP checking in with some skate stories. One goes out to Hawk Shop, Cabal Arrows, besides the loose arrows, which backwards is Oracle. Brad Dorkman owns all those names. Schmidt, SC, Schmidt, Skull Skates, Skull Candy, all owned. SOS was getting Skull Skates started. Then they canned that with Olsen. Then they moved them up to Canada, had the fucking background already set to go with PD, the opposite of DP. What are you gonna do? And then Bob Nike becomes president underneath fucking Jeff, like not G-E-F, Lenny Friedman, Jeff, not Veg, no, Jeff, Ken Doll, pussified generation. This is your pussified generation. All the members do this, and then you do this. All your virtual signaling. Yo, so tough, so TA. They all stand in the back of the pool looking at you as if they're mad. All right, Hawk, eat shit.